Hi everyone, I'm Carmen with Happy Beaver Custom Carvings. Welcome to my very first episode of the End of the Trail sign carving creation. Also, welcome to the very first episode of the Happy Beaver Custom Carvings YouTube channel. Yay! So if you enjoy watching these sign carving creations brought to life, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, and we can grow this YouTube channel together. I was going to put this video out a lot sooner, or at least I had hoped to. However, I learned that video editing is not exactly my strong suit, so I reached out to my beautiful daughter-in-law, Oksana Zimmerman, who has a real talent for this, so I know you'll enjoy this episode as much as I do. In the very first episode, what I ended up doing was just shaping this board, and I created some sawdust paste with glue from the exact same board so that it would have the same coloring, and filled in some of these cracks and crevices. Then I went straight to sanding. However, I learned that I really needed to plane the board off first. So I aborted mission and ended the video here, and we can start the second video out with the planing process, which will make it a lot of fun. It's always one of my very favorite parts. So let's go ahead and get started and enjoy the show. We're going to cut the sign off of the rest of the slab. I'm going to try to keep my lines as parallel as possible, making sure I have enough extra wood because I'm not exactly sure how big my design is going to be. Now I'm taking a chisel and chiseling off all the bark. The bark otherwise will come off on its own, and we don't want that because it's going to pull off the finish of the sign. And now for the fun part. I'm taking the angle grinder and getting off the rest of the bark and kind of smoothing out the edges and kind of making a curve on the ends of the board. I'm also taking the disc sander and trying to get off some of the marks that's left over from the sawmill. Sign carvers do get a tad bit dusty. Now I'm just spraying off all the sawdust off the board. It gives me an excuse to spray all the sawdust off of me too. Now I've taken the sign inside so I can get a good assessment on how many cracks and dings or anything that needs to be filled on it. It still has a ton of sanding left. You see all the sawmill marks everywhere. But these cracks have to be taken care of. Otherwise the board will continue to split, and nobody wants that. Now I'm going to mix that sawdust up with some tight bond wood glue. This is going to make a nice paste to fill in all those crevices and cracks so that it doesn't continue to crack and probably hide most of it. This was a little fast because I'm still learning all the video tricks, and I probably should have worn matching socks. After gluing it, it's important to clamp it up and let it sit for maybe about 6 hours, but it holds perfect. And I'm back. It is 6 hours since we put that glue and sawdust paste in these crevices. And that should be stronger than actually real wood is. I don't know how that is, but Sam actually showed me and I was quite impressed. But anyways, I'm going to start sanding the front. I did not fill the void in the back yet. I only have so much time today, so I really want to see how this looks. So I want to go ahead and get started on the front side. I'm going to start with my orbital sander with a 60 grit. I'm going to go down to a 120, and then a 220 and a 320, and then it'll be smooth as a baby's butt. I can't wait to see it, but the dust extraction is hooked to it, so I'm not going to have to worry about wearing a mask. I don't have to worry about being covered in sawdust, so this is going to be fun and amazing. It does take a very long time. It won't be long for you though, because it'll be on time lapse. Yay! I think as I was starting to record, because I'm using my watch, I think I might have hit the button that said stop. Because I did quite a bit of work and forgot to hit record. So now I understand why all those YouTubers do that. I always kind of thought it was kind of goofy, but you know, I get it now. Oops. Anyways, I did about maybe 20 minutes on this. I noticed with live edge that it's a much harder to prepare your board because it's not flat like as if you went to Lowe's or Home Depot and bought you a nice board. It's going to come to you flat. I didn't notice it much until I started sanding, and I was like, oh, I'm going uphill and downhill, so there must be a lump. And the lump seems to be kind of centered around this knot, which happens a lot. But it does have some pretty purple colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye out, occasionally putting this level down. And if you'll see, this level's completely flat. So you see how it is touching in some places, other places it's not. I'm not expecting 100%, and honestly, I could get away with this. It's not going to cause any troubles with my router. Nobody will ever notice it. But guess what? I do. And it'll be worth it in the end. It's not going to be completely flat, but it'll do. It'll be really, really close. And I'll be happy, and hopefully the customer will be happy. Sign carving has taught me a lot of patience. However, I don't have this much patience. I can sit here and sand it forever and I won't be happy. I did happen to look at the router sled. I was wrong. Don't tell Sam, because he doesn't need to know that I'm ever wrong. I hate the word but I did notice that my router sled will actually work for this. So, not today, since it's Friday night. Maybe tomorrow, Sunday, but most likely on Monday, I'm going to set this up and I'm going to get this flat. That's that. I will see y'all again tomorrow. So that ends our first day of, well, no, I guess it's our second day of sign carving. Bye.